You know, there was a time when Madame Tussauds was everything, wasn't it? You saw people queuing around the block, you know, everybody was interested in them for some reason. You know, I've been there on a number of occasions during press calls and things like that. And I don't know about you, but I find this odd in the 21st century that people still want to look at static waxworks. I mean, you would expect them at least to have some mechanical movement, you know. I remember the unveiling of the George Clooney waxwork and things like that. I think sports people are interesting, you know, and obviously I would say this, but royals, I like the fact that you kind of get to know exactly how tall that person would be. Queen Victoria, for instance, quite short, you know what I'm saying? Yes, King Edward, not too tall either. Seemingly, you do get to know some facts. But now Madame Tussauds could have gone in the very wrong direction with this latest unveiling. As ever, let me explain. As I say, Madame Tussauds is one of those places, isn't it, that when you come to London, if you can afford it, you know, you could go along. I don't know about you, I think the prices are astronomical, really, when you consider. And then you're supposed to stand outside like some loyal disciple followings, waiting to go in to look at people just staring back at you. You get the picture. And, you know, you do kind of wonder what it's all about. Now, one of the big press calls that we went to all of those years ago was the unveiling of Harry and Meghan. That's right. And I have to say, you know, in fact, that the Meghan Markle waxwork looked very, very much like her. Very much like her. Almost as cold as Meghan, some might say too. But it's interesting now because, as I say, they've gone in a brand new direction in the hope of luring people in. And they've launched, I think, up to 7 Harry Styles, the singer, of course, from One Direction. Now, there's various poses, various tattoos, various looks, but the one over here in London is truly backfired. And this is simply because, we'll just take a look. What do you think? Harry's meant to be also metrosexual, you know, very much like, well, look, you know, you could take me either way you want. There he is standing there, stood standing there, as Hilda Baker would have said years ago, with a pearl necklace on, clutching a handbag. What is he? And does he not realise, of course, that David Bowie did it over 50 years ago and a little bit better, with a little bit more style, as one can imagine? Well, again, it's interesting to note because a lot of people are now comparing this particular waxwork to the likes of Clarence, made famous by Dick Emery all those years ago in those 1970s and 80s comedy shows. Not only that, fans have been putting stickers on saying, "Oh, what a gay day." All reference, of course, to the brilliant comedian Larry Grayson. Now, this is not what they wanted at all. And you see, the bigger problem now for Madame Tussauds is the woke-aratery, the kids that like Harry Styles, simply will not pay that money to go and look at a waxwork. It doesn't really enthrall them. They'd rather spend it maybe paying for a cameo. That is a video message directly from Harry on his website. Or more importantly, if you can afford it, shelling out to go and see him in concert, which has proven very popular. Let's not forget, just less than 10 years ago, Harry was working in a bakery in Cheshire. He's done incredibly well and a phenomenal success now around the world, even if you can't remember any of his songs. You know what I'm saying? But with Madame Tussauds, now they're just banking on this being the big crowd puller over the summer season, you know, the school holidays with the kids. But I refer it back to you and, of course, Harry Styles' very famous and very successful former band. Do you think they've literally gone, quite openly, in the wrong direction with this? Or would you pay to see Harry Styles for all of that money? As ever, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.